What's up, everyone? We're going to be going through the best WNBA player props on PrizePicks today. Now, if you did watch yesterday's YouTube video, unfortunately, we had a bit of a risky day with the NBA Finals, and it didn't do too well because we only got 1 out of the 3 picks correct. So I am really sorry about that. The NBA Finals have definitely been really risky, but we got some locks for you today because it is the WNBA. However, I also do want to show you the results from yesterday's picks from my exclusive Discord group, and as you guys see, we actually got 21 picks correct, which was absolutely insane. Now, a lot of you comment wanting to see how many I got wrong, and I thought I'd show you in today's video. We only got 2 picks wrong and got 21 right, which is a 94% win rate. Yes, guys, you heard that right. 94% win rate. So we're on a huge hot streak, but if you want to get a 94% win rate and get 21 picks right like me, win more bets and receive the best picks from some of the best bettors in the world for less than a cup of coffee, you can access the exclusive Discord and meet some of the best sport bettors in the game by joining my Patreon. Should be a link down below in the description. Once you join, you'll have complete access to the Discord and can start winning more bets today. So make sure to join my Patreon using the link in the description. And here's one of our members who just signed up and won himself $408 just yesterday. Another member who won $416 for the 6th day in a row since joining my Discord. So guys, if you want to win big money like our members, the link will be in the description. So go join the Patreon to have access to the Discord group. And I will be continuing to upload every single day on this channel the best bets and props. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss my daily uploads. So I want to give a quick shout out to Henry Shockham 9242 who said love the unders, and also shouts out to Peanut561 who said bounce back today. So shouts out to them, and if you do want to win a shout out in the next video, all you have to do is comment down below in this video and like it, and you can be in the running to win a shout out in the next one. All right, so let's get straight into the first pick. And when it comes to these picks, I'm not saying to chuck all of them into a parlay and hope for the best. Pick and choose the ones that you like and the ones that work best for you. So the first pick we're talking about is none other than Ryan Howard. So as you all know, Ryan Howard's a great player, and this one is actually for 3 points made, for 3.5 3 points made, and this one actually is for less. Now, looking at Ryan Howard, we've actually seen her go on the under in 2 out of the last 5 games. Now, looking at those 5 games, we see that on May 31st, faced off against Seattle, had 4 3-pointers made there. Then June 7th, faced off against Connecticut, had 3 3-pointers made there. June 11th, faced off against Indiana, had 0 3-pointers made. June 14th, faced off against Chicago, had 9 3-pointers made. And then June 16th, faced off against Washington and had 4 3-pointers made there. So we definitely have seen, you know, someone like Ryan Howard do well in some games and pretty poor in others. Her average over the last 5 is actually 4, so it is slightly above this line. But when it comes to Atlanta and also Ryan Howard, they do face off against New York Liberty. Now, looking at both of these teams, Atlanta Dream have had a great start to the season. They currently rank 3rd in the WNBA with 8 wins and 3 losses. So they have a 72.7% win percentage. They are 4-1 at home, 4-2 at away, and they currently are on a 3-game win streak, and they are hoping to push it to 4th. But they do face off against New York Liberty, and New York Liberty have been doing very well because they actually rank 2nd in the WNBA with 9 wins and 1 loss. So they have a 90% win percentage. They currently are on a 1-game losing streak, so they did lose our most recent game, but they are 5-0 at home and 4-1 at away games. Now, looking at New York Liberty defensively, obviously we are looking at the 3-pointers made, but looking at 3-point percentage allowed, we do see that New York Liberty do rank 4th. 3-point attempts allowed, we see that Liberty rank 8th, and then 3 points made, we actually see Liberty rank 6th. So although, you know, Liberty in some of the cases ranks in that mid-tier, it's still technically somewhat higher than mid-tier. I still do believe it's still more in the upper echelon, and we still see that being enough to see someone like Ryan Howard go on the under here. When we look at New York Liberty as well, a big case for this is that Ryan Howard is a, guard. And what we have seen time and time again is that New York Liberty actually do a fantastic job at restricting 3-point percentage allowed, 3-point attempts allowed, and 3-point mades allowed against the guard position. So we are expecting, when we look at a per position basis, to take over in this sense, in a sense that we do still very much like the under, since Liberty as a whole rank pretty, upper high higher mid-tier when it comes to 3-point attempts allowed, maids allowed, and also percentage allowed. But on top of that, we still are sticking to the under for this situation here. Now, when we look at what the bookies are saying, bookies also have our favorite for the under as well, so that works out in our favor there. So right now we're at 3.5, 3 points made for less, I think is a fantastic pick. Now, getting into the next one, we're going to be talking about none other than Courtney Williams. So, Courtney Williams, great player, and this one is actually for 5.5 assists, and this one actually is for more. Now, looking at Courtney Williams, we have seen her go on the over in 2 out of the last 5 games. Now, looking at those 5 games, you see on June 2nd, faced off against Golden State Valkyries and had 5 assists there. Then June 4th, faced off against Phoenix, had 5 assists in that matchup. June 9th against Dallas, had 8 assists. June 12th against Seattle, had 6 assists, and then June 15th faced off against the Sparks and had 2 assists there. So we have seen Courtney Williams do a fantastic job. Now, when it comes to Courtney Williams, we do know that they face off against, none other than the Las Vegas Aces. Now, this is definitely going to be a big matchup. Looking at Courtney Williams, we do see that, the Aces and Minnesota ranking between both of these teams. We see that Minnesota do actually rank first. They have 10 wins, 1 loss, a 90.9% win percentage. They are 5-0 at home, 5-1 at away, and they currently are on a 1-game win streak. So they are hoping to push it to 2 in this matchup here. But looking at the Aces on the other side, Aces are on a different side of the table because they actually rank 8th in the WNBA with 5 wins and 5 losses. So they have a straight 50% win percentage. They currently are 3-2 at home and 2-3 for away games. They did lose their most recent one, so they are hoping to make sure it doesn't end up on a 2-game losing streak there. Now, coming into this matchup, we do know Courtney Williams is a great player. And looking at the Las Vegas Aces, we do see that the Aces do rank when it comes to assists allowed. They do rank 12th. So they rank very poorly when it comes to defending the assists. And that's a big reason why we do very much like the over for this situation here. We definitely see someone like Courtney Williams being able to take advantage of this and go on the over in this situation. We have definitely seen her usage rate be very good in the assist department. Even some of the times where she has missed a line, she's only missed it by 0.5. So, definitely convincing enough to us for it to be on the over in a situation like this. So for that reason, keep an eye out for Courtney Williams coming into this game. So Courtney Williams, 5.5 assists for more, I think is a fantastic pick. Now, getting into the next one, we're actually going to be talking about none other than Ariel Atkins. So, as you all know, Ariel Atkins, great player for none other than Chicago Sky. And this one is a fantastic one for actually 3.5 assists. And this one actually is for less. So, looking at Ariel Atkins, we actually have seen, Ariel Atkins do pretty decently in some games, but she has still gone on the under in 3 out of the last 5 games. Now, looking at those 5 games, you see on June 1st, faced off against Dallas, had 3 assists there. Then against Indiana, actually had 3 assists on June 8th. June 11th, faced off against Liberty, a bit of a different story as she got 0 assists, so got absolutely nothing. June 14th, faced off against Atlanta Dream, had 5 assists there. And then June 16th, faced off against Connecticut and had 4 assists in that matchup. So we have seen Ariel Atkins still go on the under more than going on the over in the last 5. And our average over the last 5 is also 3 as well, so significantly below this line. Now, Chicago Sky do face off against none other than Washington Mystics. Now, it is definitely going to be an exciting game, but looking at Chicago Sky, we do know that they do rank 11th when it comes to the WNBA with 3 wins and 7 losses. So 30% win percentage. They have a 1-game win streak so far, 1-2 at home, and then 2-5 at away games. And they face off against the Washington Mystics, who are doing a little bit better, but not that much better, of 4 wins and 7 losses. So they have a 36.4% win percentage. They are 3-3 at home, 1-4 at away games, and also are on a currently 1-game losing streak. So, both these teams definitely have or need this win as much as the next. But looking at Washington Mystics, we do know defensively We do know when it comes to assists, we do know that Washington Mystics do rank third when it comes to assists allowed. So that's a big reason why we do very much like the under for this situation here. We definitely see someone like, Ariel Atkins going on the under due to this situation, as, Mystics have definitely done a fantastic job defensively, especially against assists. And we definitely see that being a bit of a problem coming into this next game. So for that reason, I do very much like the under for this situation here for someone like Ariel Atkins. And looking at what the bookies are saying, bookies also are favored for the under as well. So I think that's fantastic there. So definitely keep an eye out for Ariel Atkins and the under for this one. So Ariel Atkins, 3.5 assists, 4 less, I think is a great pick. All right, so as you all know, I do want to get these picks out to you as soon as possible, but PrizePicks is delayed with some of their lines. So here are a couple of players you should definitely watch out for when their lines drop. So the first player we're going to be talking about is none other than Nia Coffey. Now, as you all know, Nia Coffey is a fantastic player for none other than Atlanta Dream, and she has done a fantastic job during this season because she's actually averaging 5.9 points, 3.9 rebounds, 1.5 assists, and 0.5 steals. So she's definitely done a fantastic job there. Now, when it comes to someone like, Nia Coffey, we definitely not only have seen her do a fantastic job, herself, but Atlanta Dream are in a pretty decent position when it comes to the WNBA, because right now they currently do rank third when it comes to, their ranking. They have 8 wins, 3 losses, a 72.7% win percentage, which is great, and a 4-1 home record and 4-2 away record. So they have been playing very well. On top of that, they are currently on a 3-game win streak, so it's definitely been a very good time for Nia Coffey and also Atlanta Dream. And Atlanta Dream do find themselves in a bit of a situation here because they face off against New York Liberty. Now, the reason why this is going to be an interesting game is because New York Liberty do rank 1 slot higher, as they have a 9-win, 1-loss record. So they have a 90% win percentage. They currently are on a 5-0 from home, 4-1 at away. They most recently actually just lost, their first game, which has definitely been, a hit to their actual standings, as they were ranked number 1 before, but they did drop down a second. But coming into this game, it's definitely going to be a great battle between both of these teams, as both teams are very high up in their rankings. So, this is definitely a crucial game for these two. Now, looking at Nia Coffey as well, and also the matchup against, New York Liberty in general, we do see that New York Liberty do rank first when it comes to points allowed, second when it comes to assists allowed, and when it comes to rebounds allowed, we also do see that New York Liberty rank 13th. So, surprisingly, they do rank very low in that rebounding category, but when it comes to someone like Nia Coffey, we do actually like the under for this situation here, but strictly just for points. Now, a big reason being is that New York Liberty do actually rank, very low in that rebounding, so we think Nia Coffey may have a pretty good rebounding game. On top of that, when you look at assists as well, Nia Coffey doesn't really have the highest usage rate in the assist department. So that's why for this one, we are focusing on points. We do like the under for this situation here. Now, looking at also, Nia and her last 5 games, we definitely still have seen her play some pretty, big games. We saw on the 31st of last month, faced off against Seattle, had a 94-87 victory. Now, she actually had 0 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists in that matchup. Then faced off against Connecticut Sun, where they lost 84-76, had 3 points, 1 rebound, 0 assists there. After that, faced off against Indiana, 77-58 victory, had 10 points, 7 rebounds, and 1 assist. Then moved on into Chicago, had an 88-70 victory there with 3 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, and 1 steal. Now, moving on into the next one, we saw on the 16th, faced off against Washington, had an 89-56 victory, had 0 points, 1 rebound, and 0 assists there. And on top of that, we also have seen Nia Coffey, when it comes to her usage rate out there, she isn't really the main scorer for this actual Atlanta Atlanta Dream Team. And that's another big reason why we do very much like the under for this situation here. If you do look at her last 5 games, only one of those games she actually technically did go over on her points line, or compared to her averages. Only one of the games against Indiana she was able to get 10 points. The others she was actually on the under. And a big reason for that is that when it comes to Atlanta Dream, they definitely do hone in and focus on other stars in this Atlanta Dream team to do a lot more of the heavy lifting scoring wise. So the fact that New York Liberty also do a great job defensively, we definitely are taking that into consideration, which is why we do like the under for this situation here. So if it's too close to our averages, then definitely look to go on the under there. Now, getting into the next player, we're going to be talking about Bria Hartley. So Bria Hartley, another great player for Connecticut Sun. Now, she's done a fantastic job throughout the regular season, because so far this season, she's actually averaging 7.6 points, 1.8 rebounds, and 3.2 assists, while also getting 1 steal. So she's definitely done a great job for Connecticut Sun. Now, Connecticut Sun do find themselves in a very interesting matchup against Indiana Fever. Now, looking at Connecticut Sun, we have seen Connecticut actually have 2 wins and 8 losses so far this season, which actually ranks them in the 12th spot in the WNBA. So they have a 20% win percentage. They are currently on a 2-game losing streak, and also are 1-4 at home and 1-4 away. So it's definitely been a bit of a tough time for Connecticut Sun, and Connecticut do find themselves in this next matchup against Indiana Fever, like we mentioned. Now, Fever are doing a little bit better, but they still have a very mid-tier, sort of ranking. They currently rank 7th in the WNBA, with 5 wins and 5 losses. So straight 50%, and on top of that, we also seen, them go 3-3 at home and 2-2 and away. Now, they did lose, some games early on, but they are looking to bounce back, and especially the games when Caitlin Clark, wasn't there. She did have a bit of a hiatus where she was injured, but they are currently on a 1-game win streak, so they're hoping to make it into 2-game win streaks. And coming into this game against Bria Hartley, Indiana Fever, however, do actually rank 3rd when it comes to points allowed, 1st when it comes to assists allowed, and when it comes to rebounds allowed, we see that they rank 11th. Now, for someone like Bria Hartley, we do like the under for this situation here, but strictly just for points and assists. And a big reason being is that Indiana Fever do a fantastic job at actually, restricting those positions. So we definitely see that being a big case there. Now, when it comes to, Bria Hartley for the Connecticut Sun, she also doesn't really have that high of a usage rate in these departments. Yes, it may be her highest usage rates out of any sort of category she has, but on top of that, there are other star players in this, Connecticut Suns team, like, Marina Bainbridge, just to name a few, and those are the types of players that we are expecting to have a little bit more usage rate coming into this game. Obviously, Connecticut Sun are looking to try to change things around, but if we look at, actually her most recent games, or her last 5 games, we've seen that Bria against Indiana on the 31st of last month, 85-83 victory. Now, she had 6 points, 3 rebounds and 3 assists there. Then on the second, faced off against New York Liberty, where they did get beat 150-52. She had 5 points, 0 rebounds and 0 assists. Then faced off against Atlanta on the 7th, had an 84-76 victory where she had 11 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists. And then faced off against Washington Mystics with a 104-67 loss, had 6 points, 1 rebound, and 3 assists there. After that, we saw against Chicago, had a 78-66 loss, had 6 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, and also 2 steals. So, we definitely have seen, Bria's usage rate be high in some games and a little bit lower in others, but coming into this matchup against Indiana Fever, we are expecting the under for this one. Like I mentioned, they did face off against Indiana last month, and she actually had 6 points and actually 3 assists in that matchup, so she did go under on her points compared to her averages, and she did go under on her assists as well compared to her averages as well. So for that reason, we still do very much like the under for this situation here. We definitely see her going on the under due to these reasons. And also, when we look at Bria Hartley, just keep an eye out for her line. Like I always mention, if the line is too close to her averages, then definitely look to go on the under. Now, getting into the next player, we're going to be talking about Dana Evans. So, Dana Evans, a great player for the Las Vegas Aces, and she's been doing a great job, averaging 5.7 points, 0.4 rebounds, 1.7 assists, while also grabbing 0.4 steals. So she's definitely done a fantastic job there. And when we look at the aces, it's definitely been a really good, sort of matchup coming into this next one, in a sense that it is going to be an exciting game because Las Vegas Aces face off against the #1 team, the Minnesota Lynx. So looking at Aces to start off, now Aces have had a pretty decent start to the season. Now they currently are ranked 8th in the WNBA, but the team that actually ranks 6th has the same record as them. So, 6th, 7th, and 8th all have the same record. And, on top of that, it is just coming down to for and against, but Aces are still very much in the race when it comes to being a great contending team. Now, they actually have a 3-2 home record and a 2-3 for away. They did lose their most recent game, but they are hoping to bounce back against this Minnesota Lynx team. But it is going to be tough because Minnesota Lynx do actually have the #1 spot in the WNBA with 10 wins and 1 loss. They have a 90.9% win percentage, and they are currently on a 1-game win streak. Now, they are 5-0 from home, 5-1 from away games, so it's definitely going to be an exciting matchup there. Coming into this, it's definitely going to be an exciting matchup, definitely. But when we look at Minnesota Lynx defensively, we do see that Minnesota Lynx do rank 2nd when it comes to points allowed. On top of that, they rank 5th when it comes to assists allowed, and then rebounds allowed, they do rank 4th. So, Minnesota Lynx, they are the #1 team, and there is a reason for that. And as I always say, defense wins championships, and Minnesota Lynx have been a great defensive team. That's why coming into this matchup, we do very much like the under for this situation here. Now, looking at someone, like Dana Evans, she definitely has a higher usage rate, a little bit in points and assists. Now, I would just definitely focus in a little bit more on those two, and not just due to the fact that she does have a higher usage rate in both of those, regions. But on top of that, when it comes to prize picks, we aren't really expecting a line to come out for rebounds. We may potentially just see a line come out for actually, just points or potentially assists as well. But I think points is definitely where you're going to see a line out for Dana Evans. So just keep an eye out for those two. Now, looking at actually Dana over the last 5 games, we have seen her face off against Seattle, had a 75-70 victory, had 9 points, 0 rebounds, and 3 assists in that matchup. Then faced off against Golden State Valkyries, 95-68 loss, had 7 points, 1 rebound, and 0 assists there. Then faced off against LA, had a 97-89 loss with all zeros across the board. Then faced off against Dallas Wings, 88-84 victory, had 6 points, 0 rebounds, and 2 assists there. After that, they faced off against Phoenix Mercury with a 76-70 loss, had 4 points, 0 rebounds, and 0 assists there, and also 2 steals. So when we actually do look at Dana Evans, we have seen her go on the under, quite a few times on her line. And coming into this next matchup, especially against Minnesota Lynx, who are a very good defensive team, we should definitely unfortunately see that Dana Evans may definitely struggle in these categories. So for that reason, I definitely would keep an eye out for someone like Dana Evans coming into this matchup, as we do very much think the under is more likely for a matchup like this. So keep an eye out for Dana Evans there. Now, getting into the next player, we're going to be talking about Rickea Jackson. So, as you all know, Rickea Jackson, great player for the Los Angeles Sparks. Now, we actually have seen her average 12.4 points, 3.6 rebounds, 1.4 assists, and also 0.6 steals. So we definitely have seen her do, a great job so far this season. But when it comes to the LA Sparks, they haven't really been doing a fantastic job because they currently find themselves in the 10th spot in the WNBA with 4 wins and 8 losses. So they have a 33.3% win percentage, and they face off against Seattle Storm. Now, Seattle Storm have a little bit of a better record, but not that massive of a difference just as of yet, because it is very early on, because they have 6 wins and 5 losses. So, wins wise, Sparks are only 2 wins away from getting the same amount of wins, but they need to start if they want to make it into a better position and out of that, 10th spot. They are going to need to start stringing along some wins. Now, looking at Rickea Jackson and the matchup against Seattle Storm, We do see that Seattle Storm do rank 6th when it comes to points allowed, 6th when it comes to assists allowed, and 5th when it comes to rebounds allowed. So we definitely have seen, Seattle Storm do a fantastic job defensively. They do actually rank, in the mid-tier due to the fact there is only 13 teams in the actual WNBA. But coming into this matchup for someone like Rickea, we do actually like the over for this situation here, but strictly just for points and rebounds. Now, a big reason being is that when it comes to Rickea Jackson, she does have a higher usage rate in both of those departments. Points is definitely a lot higher than rebounds and assists, but I definitely still see rebounds being or having a lot of potential dependent on, what the line really does end up coming out as. But looking at her last 5 games, we have seen against Atlanta Dream, he had an 88-82 loss. She had 0 points, 1 rebound, 0 assists there. Then faced off against Dallas Wings, 93-79 victory, had 10 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists there. After that, faced off against Golden State Valkyries with an 89-81 loss in overtime, had 8 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist there. After that, faced off against Las Vegas Aces, had a 97-89 victory with 30 points, 7 rebounds, and also 1 assist. Then faced off against Minnesota with a 101-78 loss, had 18 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists there. So we definitely have seen, Rickea Jackson do well in most games, not too well in others, but coming into a matchup like this, we should see someone like Rickea do very well in the points and rebound department. Now, another big reason is that when we look at, a team like Seattle Storm, we do see that they do a very poor job at restricting points, rebounds, and assists to the actual forward position. So for someone like Rickea Jackson, we definitely see her being able to take advantage of this and going on the over there. So keep an eye out for points and rebounds. I definitely see a lot more value in those 2 categories. So keep an eye out for the line. If the line is under averages, then definitely look to go on the over.